Hi, this is Brett Knowles from PM Squared Consulting. I want to give you a really quick overview of the strategy map that we developed during the recent planning retreat. I want to make it clear that the strategy map I'm going to share with you is based on a whole bunch of previous thinking from Nebraska Medicine. So the strategy that was 2020 to 2025 and the detailed objectives, but also more current things. For example, the blue chip work that was done on May 26, 2022, sometimes called the Cottonwood Retreat. So this is based on things that have been considered, presented to the board, voted on, approved, and so forth. So let me tell you the strategy as I would tell it to like a new board member or new executive. It goes a bit like this. Overall, our mission is to lead the world in transforming lives. Now, to do that, there's a bunch of stuff we need to do. Overall, we have to stay in business. We're a business that has to pay bills and maintain our buildings and so forth. So we've got to achieve some degree of financial success. To do that, we need to meet our stakeholder needs. Now, our stakeholders are complex. They're our communities, they're our patients, they're also our docs, our nurses, our administrators, our communities that we work in. Very complicated, and they all want something different from our institution. To do that, we need to build the right internal processes. And to build and maintain those processes, we need the right enablers, the right competencies, strategic assets, culture, and so forth. But underpinning all of that is our core values, our focus on safety, equity, and our culture. So we should be able to draw our strategy as a diagram, as a flow chart across these objectives. So the ultimate outcome is financial strength. Now, that doesn't mean it's the highest priority, it's merely the outcome. We need to achieve financial strength in order to stay in business so that we can do the good work that we do. In order to make our financial targets, we need to be that comprehensive provider. In fact, part of being a comprehensive provider is all about ensuring that we've got access to care. We need to make sure that everyone can get to our facilities who wants to. And secondly, we need to make sure that as we grow, we've got this differentiated strategic growth. This is not only about providing new services, but how do we expand beyond Omaha? And our theory is if we both provide access to care and we add this special growth, we will be able to be that comprehensive provider and therefore provide great services that allow us to stay in business. So, how do we make that happen? Internally, we need to pursue operational excellence. We need to keep working on our processes and our services and our offerings to make sure they're always getting better. And if we do that, that will both make it easier for us to get access to everyone and also have that special growth. So underpinning operational excellence are three things. Thing one is we need to create an extraordinary experience for our patients, for our doctors, for our nurses, for our administrators, for our communities that we operate in. We also need to be a great academic health system. We're not a hospital, we're not a university, we are the combination of both those things. Therefore, we have to understand what our customers, what our stakeholders want. And if we understand what they want, that will help us do all three things. By understanding our customers, we'll better enable that extraordinary experience. By understanding our customers, we'll better enable operational excellence. We'll know what parts to fix. And by understanding our customers, we'll better enable that academic attribute of our health system. Underpinning all of that are the three objectives of continuing to optimize our workforce, like helping us all be more productive since there's a limitation to the number of people we can hire. So we have to be able to work better and smarter. We need to continually create that performance mindset. And then finally, we need to leverage our assets. And our assets are both our intellectual capital, like the skills that you have and your capabilities, but also bricks and mortar, the buildings we have, the equipment we have, and so forth. So this is called a strategy map. It describes our strategic objectives. And I'll show you later, but this is all based on documents you've already seen, the posters on the wall, and so forth. And this overall is what we need to move towards. Now, these objectives will probably transcend time, but their priorities will shift. Quarter on quarter, year on year, we're going to focus on different things as we make progress. So the leadership team, if this is 100% of our strategy, we've allocated 100% for the next quarter. And the focus for the next quarter is like this. So what it means is what we're going to focus on in this quarter is optimizing the workforce and leveraging our assets so that we can better pursue operational excellence in aid of ensuring access to care and having a differentiated strategic growth. Now, these weightings will change quarter on quarter as things happen, as we gain and lose successes. But for now, that's where our energies need to be. Now, that doesn't mean the other stuff's unimportant. Anything that's on here is important. Otherwise, it wouldn't make it up to this top level scorecard. But they're all relatively important. And again, I want to emphasize that the financial strength is the outcome. If we do all these things, we'll stay in business and can continue to offer our services. And this 5% represents more that we just need to keep our finger on that pulse. We need to make sure that we have our financial matters in order, that our accounts receivables aren't getting too long, that we're charging appropriate fees for our services, and so forth. Now, again, I want to emphasize we didn't make this up. We looked at existing documents. So, for example, from the work that we did at Cottonwood, that retreat, we talked about workforce stabilization and optimization. So we've just taken that outcome from that work that we did that was voted on and approved and made it an objective. Optimize the workforce. Prioritize and optimize margin contributing services. That's part of build financial strength. Now, I know I changed the wording, but the wording comes from our domains, right? We've got 3 domains, one of which is financial strength. So again, what we've done is tried to harvest things that we already know about. So financial strength becomes part of build financial strength. In fact, extraordinary experience becomes part of I2, create an extraordinary experience, and quality and safety becomes part of safety. So again, what I'm emphasizing is what you see in the strategy map is stuff that we're familiar with from various documents and things that we've worked on already. In fact, if we take a look at 3, for example, access and capacity optimization, that's all part of operational excellence. If I take a look at the work from the Cottonwood retreat, from that earlier strategic plan that went from 2019 to 2023, it talked about things like we want to be the top decile academic health system. So be a great academic health system. It talks about being the comprehensive provider, be the comprehensive provider. It talks about destination of choice for targeted programs. That's all about creating extraordinary experience. So again, it's important to note this strategy map is based on work that we've currently done that has been reviewed and approved by many of us in the room. And the weightings are based on our perception of what we think our priorities are for the coming quarter. But we're going to meet once a quarter and refresh these weightings and probably update the objectives. This becomes our North Star. This becomes a thing that all of our areas need to look towards and see how we contribute to this overall success. And that's the work we're going to do in our objectives and key results. Understand what our objectives are that lead to this and key results that would indicate that we're moving in this direction. So hopefully this gives you some insight on our top level strategy.